Today I thought it'd be fun to do a comparison video between the Subaru Crosstrek and the Mazda CX-30. Both the cars here are 2021 models. This is the new Crosstrek with a 2.5 liter boxer engine, so it has a little bit more power this year, 182 horsepower. That's mated to a continuously variable transmission. The Mazda CX-30 is also powered by a 2.5 liter four-cylinder, and that is mated to a 6-speed automatic. The CX-30 is definitely the more luxurious and premium choice between the two, and I'd say the Crosstrek is probably going to be your more rugged, off-road friendly option. On the road though, both cars pretty much do the same thing. I think the Crosstrek feels and looks a little bit more spacious on the interior, especially in the back seat. The CX-30 with these high door panels feels a little bit more cramped, but overall visibility is still quite good in this car, and we'll see an example of that once we get on the road. Show you guys the back seats here. It looks like there's quite a bit less space in the CX-30, but you look at the headliner there and there's a little bubble that makes for a lot more headroom than you would expect. This is a CX-30 Premium. You have a slightly lower loading height here, a spare tire, tools, all that stuff. Very easy to fold down the rear seats completely flat. It has a power tailgate. The back of this Crosstrek is a pretty similar story. No power option, but similar size and amount of space back here. You also get a spare tire, which is great. Everything is light, easy to use in the Crosstrek. And you can see the back seat is a lot more spacious in here. I think both are pretty good looking cars in their own right. The CX-30 is really the pinnacle of Mazda's future design language. It's taking the brand into this more luxurious focus. And the Crosstrek, of course, still looks like a hiking boot. I think it's safe to say that both of these cars are leaders in their class. Let's take them for a drive, and we'll start with the Mazda CX-30. You can see that the inside of the CX-30 is very luxurious, very upscale. The materials, the leather, the fit and finish of everything, and just the design and overall aesthetic is really nice. It's in some ways miles ahead of the Subaru Crosstrek, but you still get really good ergonomics. Mazda's done a ton of work to make sure that this infotainment and everything is very easy to use and simple to operate. This is probably one of my favorite new cars under $30,000. The overall simplicity and minimalism to this interior, I think, is beautiful. This car is also equipped with the Bose sound system, so we'll do a quick sound test to compare the premium Harman Kardon audio and the Crosstrek to the Bose audio in this CX-30. We have a little tiny reverse camera. It's not as high res as it is in the Crosstrek, but it still does the job. Let's talk about how the CX-30 drives compared to the Crosstrek. The Crosstrek definitely has a softer and plusher ride. That's not to say that the CX-30 is stiff, but it's definitely a little bit more sporty of a character over bumps. The ride quality here is still fantastic, even on these premium 18-inch wheels. The Crosstrek also rides in 18s, and it just has marginally better composure over bumps. The Crosstrek definitely wins in the off-road capability and ground clearance aspect. It has 8.7 inches of ground clearance, whereas this CX-30 is only around 7 inches of ground clearance. For most driving though, especially in the wintertime, I think that's plenty, especially if you have a good set of tires to get you through the snow. If you're going off-road, the Crosstrek is definitely the choice you want to go for, and the CX-30 can probably get you to any places you need to do. It's just not going to be as capable or as safe to off-road through rugged terrain as the Crosstrek would be. The powertrain is a big standout with this CX-30. The driving dynamics are fantastic. Acceleration in this CX-30 feels quite good. It's so refreshing to have a 6-speed automatic instead of just another CVT in these cars. In this CX-30 you have paddle shifters, so you can downshift. Gives you a nice little blip. it's responsive, and it's kind of fun to drive. Honestly, the power levels feel about the same. I think the CX-30 probably puts its power down a little bit better. However, I think both cars give you enough power to play with in daily driving scenarios. The transmission in the CX-30 is responsive. It downshifts quickly. The engine is a lot quieter than the Crosstrek. The Crosstrek is always droning away, and it really feels strained a lot of the time just because of that transmission. Let's see how well the CX-30 can hang with the Crosstrek around this entrance ramp. Oh yeah. They're about even, all things said and done. This front-wheel drive CX-30 is fun to drive though. You get a little bit of lift-off oversteer. The chassis in this CX-30 is pretty active. One thing I do really like about this car is that there are minimal distractions. Mazda has done so much work to take the distraction out of the driving experience. And one of those things is there's no stop-start in this CX-30. It's a little bit distracting in the Crosstrek. It's always coming on. The car turns off when you put it into park, and then you let off the foot, it turns on again, then you have to turn it off. It's kind of annoying to deal with the stop-start in that car. And with the Boxer engine, it's not the smoothest system either. The radar-guided cruise control system in this car works well enough. It is a little bit touchy on the brakes sometimes, but luckily you can go in the menus and disable it, but for most driving scenarios, it actually works quite well. The Subaru's seems to be a little bit smoother in some respects. So how can we sum up the differences between the CX-30 and the Subaru Crosstrek? Well, the big thing that you notice when you first get into the CX-30 is that there is a feeling of luxury here that is a standout in this class. Nothing else comes close to the premium feel of this Mazda in the compact crossover class. The Crosstrek is a nice car and it's great to drive, but it still feels like an economy hatchback that's on stilts. This CX-30 feels like a really nice premium product. I think it's also a little bit more fun to drive than the Subaru. I love that this car has a traditional 6-speed automatic and not a CVT. That for me is a big reason to buy this alone. And you add in all the other aspects and great features that this thing has, and just the way that it feels and drives on the road, it's probably the winner for me, but the Crosstrek is not far off. While we're here, let's just do a quick sound system test, listen to some music in this Bose audio system. Sound quality with this Bose sound system is exceptional for the class. I think it's a really nice sound system for under $30,000. In something like this, it's probably reasonably comparable to the Crosstrek's Harman Kardon, but I think the Bose edges ahead just a little bit, though I'm probably biased. All right, guys, well, there you go. There's the Mazda CX-30. Let's hop into the Subaru Crosstrek and see what that's like behind the wheel. All right, in the Subaru Crosstrek. So immediately I feel like I am in a slightly larger, more spacious cabin. The CX-30 is cozy, but on first impressions it can feel a little bit more cramped than most cars. You do get used to it, however. This Crosstrek definitely feels like a much larger car than its class would suggest. We have a manual handbrake, a slightly larger screen that's closer to the driver, though it isn't as high up and close to the driver's view as it is in the CX-30. For that reason, I think that the CX-30's ergonomics are a little bit less distracting and more natural to use. This touchscreen works pretty well with an Apple CarPlay, but once you kind of get into some of the Subaru screens, it does take its time sometimes. Let's take it for a drive. And although maybe the CVT isn't the top choice for drivers, it is a very smooth powertrain. Under normal driving scenarios, it'll sit around 2,000-3,000 RPM, and it is a lot louder and more coarse than the CX-30's quiet 2.5-liter four-cylinder. Stock for stock, these Crosstrek tires definitely feel a little bit grippier than the CX-30s. And immediately when I'm getting on the highway, I notice there's a lot more wind noise and road noise. The ride quality here, though, in this Crosstrek is fantastic. It just smooths over all the bumps. Even with the short wheelbase, nothing really seems to upset it. If you listen to these cars back to back at 70 miles per hour on the highway, the road noise here in the Crosstrek and the difference between the two is pretty significant. I think the Crosstrek has a slightly more intuitive radar-guided cruise control system. It seems to blend speed differentials a little bit better, although it is sometimes a little bit annoying to use, and that it's constantly beeping at you when another car pulls in front of you or a vehicle comes into range of the system. I'm also surprised sometimes how closely the Crosstrek follows with its radar-guided system. The Mazda is much more conservative in its approach distances. CX-30 pulling away a little bit on the Crosstrek. Like I said though earlier, the power levels between these two cars are very similar. There's really not a lot of difference. On a handling front, both do about the same things around a corner. I think the CX-30 is a little bit more fun to drive, and that's just the Mazda nature, but this Crosstrek does a pretty good job. Like I said in my review of this car, it's amazing how well this car drives down the road, given its off-road capabilities. The decision between these two cars really depends on how you're going to be using them. If I just needed a really nice, comfortable daily driver, I would take the CX-30 all day. If I wanted something that I could take off-road, go camping in, maybe have as an alternative to an SUV, and I didn't quite need the space of an SUV or a Subaru Forester or something like that, and this Crosstrek is a really, really good option. There are definitely some concessions that you're making here on the Crosstrek compared to the CX-30. This just doesn't feel like as quality of an item and as well made of a vehicle as the Mazda. There's more wind and road noise. The materials in here feel a lot cheaper. There are lots of exposed plastics. The design, I don't think, is as cohesive inside and out. And the interior on the CX-30 is completely on a different level in terms of aesthetic, fit, finish, and quality. Really though, if I'm being honest, you kind of can't go wrong with either of these cars. I think they're very close to being tied at the top of their class. My recommendation would be to just go drive both and see what you prefer. The Mazda definitely makes a really nice first impression, and it is very satisfying and rewarding to drive on a daily basis. The initial impressions of the CX-30 being more upscale and the Crosstrek being a little bit more rugged definitely translate to each car's driving experience. And I think that's just ultimately the best way to sum them up. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this comparison video. These are always fun to do. It's always nice to drive cars back to back, and gives you a little bit more clarity on what they're like. If you have any questions, feel free to chime in the comments. If not, we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.
Two very different cars.
Very different.
And it's kind of cool that they exist for both buyers, because I could see a completely different type of driver buying one from the other. And they're both recommendable, which is the cool thing for us.
Yeah, you kind of can't go wrong with either option.
No. Well, I mean, depending on your driving. I think if you're doing a lot more city type driving,
Yeah.
And you care about the driving experience a little bit more, this feels like a more premium product. But I think the ride is better in the Subaru.
It is. Yeah.
It just takes the bumps more confidently, which is not surprising given the tires and the ride height, suspension, and everything. But I think if you live somewhere where you're doing dirt roads or you're doing anything like that, it's going to be a better choice for you.
Definitely.
Despite all the plastic cladding on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think you guys picked a really great color because you barely noticed the plastic
That
cladding.
was the point. Yes.